Welcome to ABCS Channel 22 National News.
My name is Chloe Reitzma.
Hello, my name is Savanna Morgan.
Hello, my name is Abigail Van Clay.
Today we are going to be talking about the Indian Removal Act.
The Indian Removal Act was the removal of the Native American tribes from the east of the Mississippi River to lands west.
The act was signed by Andrew Jackson, the 7th president, and Congress passed it in 1830.
Andrew Jackson wanted the Indian Removal Act so he could achieve his purpose. He encouraged Congress to adopt the Indian Removal Act. The Worcester v. Georgia case made Congress accept the law.
The Worcester v. Georgia case ruled that Georgia couldn't enforce its laws within Cherokee territory.
At the time of the Worcester v. Georgia case, Jackson was already applying this law. Jackson believed that moving Native Americans west would bring a permanent resolution to this conflict.
In 1828, gold was found in Cherokee land. White men started to set up camp there, which puts the Native Americans further and further west.
The tribes that were removed were the Chickasaw, the Choctaw, the Creek, the Seminole, and the Cherokee.
The law authorized the president to negotiate with southern Indian tribes for the removal to federal territory west of the Mississippi in exchange for their lands.
Between 1830 and 1840, roughly 60,000 Native Americans were forced from their homelands.
Nearly an entire Indian population that was in the southeastern United States was moved west.
Other Native American tribes that were affected by the Indian Removal Act included the Wyandot, Kickapoo, Lenape, Shawnee, and the Potawatomi tribes.
Removal was mandatory if the government said it was necessary.
The Indian Removal Act led to the Trail of Tears.
More than 10,000 Native Americans died on the Trail of Tears.
The Indian Removal Act was set into action because the growth of the United States could continue without interference or violence if the Indians were not there.
Today we have a special guest from the Trail of Tears here to interview.
Welcome, Briana Bollinger.
Thank you, Briana, for being here with us today. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
So we're going to start talking about the Trail of Tears. What was it like on the Trail of Tears?
The Trail of Tears was a horrible place for the Native Americans. For me, I felt like giving up.
What was the atmosphere around you like?
The atmosphere around me was tense and strict. The officers were rude and violent.
Was anyone close to you injured or killed during the Trail of Tears?
Yes, my sister Kale fell behind and got shot.
I'm sorry to hear that. Were you and your sister close?
Yes, we were close. We were twins.
How did the Indian Removal Act in the Trail of Tears affect you?
I was affected by the Indian Removal Act because I am a Native American. They hurt us physically, mentally, emotionally. On the Trail of Tears, we are threatened and harassed constantly.
That sounds horrible. After you arrived in land west of the Mississippi River, how was life like for other Native Americans and you?
After we arrived in the lands west of the Mississippi, life was devastating for us. We didn't have any of our belongings. We had to start from new, everything from scratch. It was terrible.
How did you start new?
We had to learn about all the new resources around us. We didn't have any houses or anywhere to live.
How many people died on the Trail of Tears?
About 10,000 people died of cold, hunger, and disease on the Trail of Tears.
Thanks for sharing with us today. We appreciate it.
Anytime. Thanks for having
The
me.
Trail of Tears lasted more than 3 years.
The Trail of Tears was brutal and painful for many Native Americans.
The Indian Removal Act was a shameful period for the United States. watching ABCS Channel 22 National News.